Kelly, and this is Round Trip with Colleen Kelly, your go-to podcast for unforgettable travel stories, top tips, and all the adventures that you've been waiting for. And today we've got our long-term friend, Suzanne Kenzer, who travels the world as a freelance travel journalist, and she's going to talk to us about Budapest, Hungary. So I'm excited to hear it. Welcome back to Round Trip. I'm Colleen Kelly, and today we have one of our great friends, Suzanne Kenzer, a freelance travel journalist who just went to Budapest, or Budapest as they call it. And Suzanne, I'm so excited to have you on as always, but also to talk about Budapest because I'm going there in August, and I really don't know that much about Budapest.
I'm happy to be here. Hi, Colleen and Megan, and I'm excited you're going to go to Budapest. Budapest. I,
Yeah.
I loved it. It's been on my bucket list for a long time, and it's a really great city to visit.
So why did you pick Budapest? Like Hungary?
It's more affordable than other Western European cities, so it's easy to do a lot. There's a great value when you go there, and you can see a lot in a short period of time. And it's what a lot of people don't know about the city is that it's divided into two sections on either side of the Danube River, and they're completely different parts of the city. Buda is on one side of the river, Pest is on the other side, and you can see completely different sites on each side, and they look very different.
Is it when you just so I know that because I stayed like on the Buddha side when I went years ago. What's the difference between the two?
So that's interesting that you stayed on the Buda side. I was on the Pest side, and Buda is where the castle district is. It's more hilly and mountainous, and so it's very picturesque. It has more of a residential feel to it, I think, although there's certainly restaurants and shops and hotels. The Pest side is more congested, more lively, and there's also lots of attractions and restaurants and shops. It's flatter, so they just have a really different feel to them, and they're just a river apart from each other. So I think it's fascinating.
So they're essentially like two different almost cities. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah. Two different cities joined.
Interesting. Okay, so I remember I said like somebody said, "Oh, you should stay on this side," but again, I don't remember exactly why I stayed on that side. But Budapest, Hungary, I think a lot of people, I mean, being like an American, right? We think of like Paris and Ireland and Germany, but not so much Hungary. So what made you go to Hungary? And I heard you stayed also in this amazing hotel. So I'd like to talk
I
about those two things, like why Hungary, and then how you picked this hotel because it's supposed to be one of the best in the city from what I understand.
So why Hungary? Budapest is a very cosmopolitan city. I mean, even though it's in Eastern Europe, it's part of the EU. They have their own currency. They have not adopted the euro, but so that is something to mention and to keep in mind. But
Wait, can I stop you right there really fast because you said they have their own currency? Does that make it more affordable because they're not on the euro?
I don't know if I would say that. It is perhaps they use the Hungarian forint. It's the abbreviation HUF is for their currency, and very few places accept euros. So either you have some of their currency or you use your credit or debit card. But it's just I think it can be overlooked by tourists on a first or second trip to Europe, and it shouldn't be because there is so much to see, and it's such a safe city. I mean, it's really. Obviously, you have to take the same precautions you would take in any city, but it's safe to get around and easy to get around.
And easy to get around. You said it's a very walkable city.
It's walkable. I don't know if I would walk, necessarily more than once or twice from one side of the river to the other. There's trolley trams that go across, and if you get the Budapest Card, which gives you a discount or free admission to a lot of attractions, that includes transportation within the city.
Oh, I know those cards. You can purchase them through the tourist board, and then you can get into all sorts of attractions, and there's discounts. I actually used that in Austria, one of those cards, and we got so many deals it wasn't even funny. I was like walking into all these places for free.
There's deals for restaurants, sometimes shops, and you can get the card online, but then you have to exchange the voucher at a physical spot where they sell the cards, and then you just use it you can buy it for different 24 hours, 48, 72, and it's really worth it.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, like I said, we had it in Austria, but I didn't know you could do that in Budapest.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, first of all, for me, a hotel is really important. It's part of my journey. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I just sleep there," and that's it. That's all I care about because I'm off exploring. But for me, that hotel is part of my experience on my trip. Tell us about where you stayed and how you picked this hotel.
So I agree with you. I couldn't agree more. A hotel is, for me, it sets the tone for your trip. And I don't like to stay in cookie cutter hotels. I want to stay in a hotel that gives me the flavor of where I'm traveling to. And in a luxury hotel, you should be able to get that. If you look around, you can find a hotel that has that. We were on the Pest side of Budapest. But the hotel was a little oasis inside the city. It's the Anantara Palace. I'm sorry, Anantara New York Palace Budapest Hotel.
It's called Anantara New York Palace in Budapest.
Anantara New York. It's a mouthful. Anantara New York Palace Budapest Hotel.
Okay.
And it gets its name from the life insurance company that was the first business that occupied that building back in the day. And so, but it is a tourist attraction in and of itself, because within that hotel is the New York Cafe, which is widely considered one of the most beautiful cafes in the world. And I would have to agree. So,
Wow. So what did it like when what was it like when you walked in? Because I've noticed this picture, I think was at this hotel, you said,
that
correct?
picture is behind me is I believe is the New York Cafe. I'm standing up a level, and so that's sort of, if you're entering from the hotel, you'd be entering that way. But the atrium to the hotel, which was covered by glass, it was at one point a cobblestone courtyard, and it was covered when they turned it into a hotel. It was covered by glass. It's this airy, beautiful place, very elegant. The atrium is an area where you can get food, have high tea. They have an evening, welcoming in the evening with a little music and a cocktail demonstration. It's just a very sophisticated and civilized place to unwind and sort of gather yourself before you head out or when you come back in. And it's just it's a really beautiful hotel with a lot of history. I mentioned the New York Cafe. A lot of the culturally influential people in Budapest would go to the cafe. Literary greats and theater greats would go and have their coffee and a meal in the cafe. And so, and it's just this Belle Epoque decor. It's beautiful, and people will line up outside, locals and tourists who are not staying at the hotel, and it's this really long line to get in for a meal. But if you're staying in the hotel, you can have breakfast every morning downstairs in the Deepwater Cafe with huge buffet, and you're seeing the decor from there. Or have dinner in the White Salon, and you're overlooking the New York Cafe from there. So, and it's amazing. It's beautiful.
It's just stunning. So what is it? What did it look like in terms of? Because I see a lot of gold in that picture.
It's very ornate, and it's just like it's like being in a castle.
Oh,
It's
well,
beautiful.
everyone wants to be in a castle. I don't know anybody that doesn't. That sounds perfect.
That's how
Uh,
it felt. Yes, and they have live music at different times, throughout the day. Just for a few minutes, they'll have some string musicians, or it's just it's very festive. So the hotel itself is really beautiful. Some of the rooms have private terraces overlooking the city. There are, it combines modern, creature comforts with this beautiful decor in the rooms, and the hallway outside overlooks the atrium on every floor. So
oh my gosh! So it has a lot of history and all the greats that you said visited and stayed or ate maybe in the New York Cafe, but that also is a gorgeous place to kind of just park
it really
yourself in
is.
Budapest,
And
and this.
it has a
Mhm.
spa. So it has a spa and
Oh,
a hotel gym, and it has parking, for a fee, but there's parking available. You can't say that in many places in Budapest. So that is for those who are renting a car and going elsewhere. In Hungary, it's I think it's nice.
Oh, so that is good. Sometimes they don't have parking, and that can be an issue in a lot of these cities. But I heard the word spa. Did you say spa?
Yes, I did say spa.
Did
It's
you
a
get to
must.
try it?
I did. I did a signature massage, and it's the spa looks a little bit like you're cocooned in a cave. It has sort of a cave feel to it. There's a pool and the sauna and steam room, and then there's nothing like getting rid of your jet lag with a relaxing massage.
Oh
So
gosh, yes. It always hits me when I get to Europe, and I'm sure it hits you too. Even though I think I'm going to be fine, that jet lag, like, oh, it's like
it's
it hits you. So a massage would be nice. I'd probably fall asleep though with the jet lag, but still.
so well, I think Budapest is one of the places where you need to get into that healing mentality because the city is really one of the other things the city is known for are their thermal spas.
Yes, I did that back in the day. I
And
did the
so,
Hungarian
did
baths
you?
and thermal spa. I did that. It was because they're known for that.
Where
And
do you remember where you did that? Because
oh
there
my,
are
no, you know what? Suzanne, I was in my 20s, so I think it was whatever I found. I don't know. I have no
it
idea.
might have been where we
But
went. But
it
we
was
are
kind of famous.
they're known for their thermal spas. As I said, they have a lot of natural springs and wells in the city. And you can find if you go onto the tourism website and if you hunt around elsewhere, I'm sure the perfect thermal spa. We went to one that was historic. I'm going to pronounce it incorrectly, but it's Sachene baths. It's a huge bathing complex. I think it's the largest bath complex in Europe.
How do you spell that?
It's Szecheniel
Oh,
baths.
yeah, that's a tough one to,
Yeah,
to
it's a mouthful.
pronounce.
It opened in 1913. It's a huge, beautiful building. However, if you're not fond of bathing with multitude of people in crowded spaces, I think this might be one to overlook unless you go there first thing when they open. It's being
Oh,
very,
because you're
very
like bathing with lots of people. Because that's what I remember. I thought
much.
it was going to be like a private thing. And we
Nope.
get there and there's all these people. And they did have the men and women separated. Do they still do that?
No.
Oh,
Everyone is you're wearing a bathing suit, but everybody is moving between indoor and outdoor pools and saunas and steam rooms, and you're crowded in with other people. Again, I would recommend if you really want to try that particular
yeah.
thermal bath to go there first thing when they open. You
Okay.
you can pay extra money to have a separate little room where you can leave your stuff rather than in a locker and change, but you're going to be with other people when you're bathing, and so you
Well,
have.
when in Rome, when in Hungary, might as well
We
just,
did, we did.
join them.
That thermal bath actually also has something unique. They have a beer bath experience where you're soaking in a tub filled with therapeutic yeast infused in the water, and you
Oh,
drink unlimited pints of beer while you're doing that.
like
So
not from the like they actually give you beer in a cup, like you're not drinking
yes,
it from the
no, no, separate pints of beer. We did
So
not do,
you're
but you
say
can.
that sorry. So you are sitting in beer and you're drinking beer.
You're not sitting in beer, you're sitting in water that's infused with the yeast that's used.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's but you're drinking beer, so it's beer themed. And if you really
okay.
love beer, it might be a nice thing to experience.
Well, Hungarian beer is like legendary, so I think that would be really fun. Although
Yeah,
you'd have to go back to the hotel and have a nap after that, I'm guessing.
exactly. Exactly.
So what else did you do in Hungary? So you did, oh,
So
wait, did you do the beer theme or
we did
did you?
not.
Okay,
We did
okay.
not. We did not.
But
We saw people doing it, but we took a pass. But
okay. Sounds, I mean, I think it'd be kind of funny for social media to post on that one.
yeah,
But okay, so you did the thermal baths, and then
we did.
what else did you do? What was like on your list to do in
So
Budapest?
we did a walking tour of the city, and again, I think I recommend this every time I'm on your podcast, on your show. But I really think doing a walking tour is a good way to it's a good way to walk off jet lag, but it's also to get to see things you might not see if you're on a bus or you're on a driving tour. And part of our tour utilized public transportation to get across the river in a short amount of time. But I really recommend it. We did a tour of what was once the Jewish quarter of the city, which is really worth seeing. The Doheny Street Synagogue, it's the largest in Europe. And even if you know nothing about Judaism, it's a beautiful building. It has a Byzantine Moorish sort of feel to it. You can see the two dome towers from most of the city on the Pest side. I recommend it. And you have to do a cruise on the Danube River.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forget the river goes right through the city.
It goes right through the city. You can do a tour of the river, I think, at any time of day, but I really recommend doing it at night. To see the city lit up from the river it's really special.
Beautiful. Wow. And how did you find this tour and the cruise?
You can find some cruise options on the tourism website. And otherwise, I would just Google Danube River Cruise Budapest, and a couple of companies will come up. They're very touristy, and they have commentary that you can listen to if you sit inside. And we really wanted to just sit outside. They give you a cocktail, and you just glass of beer or wine or soda, and you just listen to either listen to the commentary or take pictures. It's especially the Parliament building. You really want to take pictures of that at night from the river.
So beautiful. I'm assuming, just kind of envisioning it right now. It's got to be gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And for that matter, another thing, a must for people to see when they're in Budapest is the Parliament that I just mentioned.
Yes. Why is that important?
It's the third largest parliament in the world building. It's this beautiful neo-Gothic building. It's very ornate inside, and it's just stunning. You have to go inside to see their dome hall, which you'll see on a tour, is
beautiful,
jaw-droppingly beautiful.
And they allow you to go in this. This is not like a government building you can't tour.
Correct. You can go in, and the dome hall, the Hungarian Holy Crown is enclosed within glass, and it's guarded. 2 soldiers guard it at all times, but you can get close to it and take pictures of it. It's really amazing.
What is the Holy Crown? What is that, like an actual crown?
It is. It's an actual crown that was once worn by Hungarian royalty. That's in this case, and their grand staircase is also stunning. It sounds silly that you would want to come inside to see a staircase, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful ornate stairway, which is, and you can see the upper old house hall, which is no longer used by Parliament, but it's used for conferences, and it's also stunningly beautiful. So it's really worth it to do. I mean, that's one of the key attractions, I would say.
Would you say, like, was it, like World War II, was a lot of Hungary preserved or not bombed? Like, why is that still standing?
So a lot of it, a lot of things have had to be reconstructed. For example, another thing I was going to mention, the Chain Bridge, which is this beautiful bridge that goes from the Pest side of the river to Buda. It's worth walking across. It's got stone lions on either side. It was destroyed. It was opened in 1849, and it was destroyed in World War II, and then they reopened it in 1949.
Oh, okay. So they had to rebuild a lot of these beautiful.
They had to rebuild them, yeah. And I mean, the same thing if you go to the Buda, the castle district, which is another thing you have to do to see the Buda castle. And there's a lot of attractions to see. Walk along the Fisherman's Bastion, it's called, where it's the promenade outside the castle overlooking the river. The St. Stephen's Hall inside the castle was completely destroyed during the war, and they reconstructed it exactly to look exact replica of what it was, which is amazing, because to lose that it's devastating to lose such a gem within a city. And it is, you absolutely have to go see that.
Well, you have to see a castle. Anytime you go to Europe, I have to see a castle.
So the castle is, I mean, it's beautiful to go inside and see things like St. Stephen's Hall. As I mentioned, it was reconstructed, renovated after it was destroyed during the war. It's beautiful to see. But within the castle also are some attractions like the Hungarian National Gallery. So you can see artwork from Hungarian artists, all manner of artwork. And the Budapest History Museum is within the castle.
Oh, wow. So you might want to spend a day there or half a day exploring the castle, would you say?
I would. You can book a walking tour of the castle district, and you can eat lunch there. There's a terrace cafe on the Fisherman's Bastion. That sort of promenade has a cafe. You can eat there, or there's other places to eat over in the castle district. And then go into the castle and go to see the National Gallery and the History Museum. There's also Matthias Church. Is a very old church that's on that side in the castle district, and the stained glass windows and frescoes are really beautiful to go inside. And you could easily spend a half a day there.
And was it walkable, or in terms of your hotel, was your hotel pretty centrally located on the Pest side that you could walk there or take public transportation to a lot of these attractions?
To many attractions, yes. To the castle district on the other side, it would be a bit of a walk to get across.
Oh, okay.
But there's plenty of attractions on either side.
Wow. Okay. So what would you tell people? I mean, what advice would you give if somebody's like, I've never been to Hungary. Should I go, or should I tack it on to like maybe my trip to, let's say, Paris? What would you tell them?
I would tell people you definitely should go to Budapest. A lot of people tack it on to Prague or another city in Eastern Europe. And I think it's worth doing that. I would plan to allow at least 4 days in Budapest.
Oh, so there's a lot to do.
There's a lot to do. I mean, there are all sorts of. I didn't mention on the castle side, there's a very historic funicular that you can take up to the top of Castle Hill, so you don't have to walk up this enormous hill to get to the castle district. You can take a funicular up and down, and it's been around for more than 150 years. So it's well used.
Yeah, that sounds better. It sounds a little faster,
So, yes, and we haven't even touched on all of the food you need to try.
Okay, yes. Hungarian goulash. I know about that.
Yes, you have to eat Hungarian goulash. I mean, it's hearty fare, and people don't necessarily, I don't think about cuisine when they're thinking about going to Budapest, but you have to try the goulash, which is made with beef and vegetables, chicken paprikash, which is made with a local paprika, which you should bring home. It's something that you can
paprika? Did you say paprika?
Paprika, yeah.
Oh, is it? Do we call it paprika? What do they call it there? I don't know. I see. My husband's more the chef and the cook in this house. But that's really. I know that there's Hungarian spices that are really important, like you just said. You have to bring home.
And some street food. Langos is how they pronounce it. It's spelled Langos. It's this deep fried flatbread, usually with cheese and sour cream on top, but you can get it with anything savory and sweet, and you can pick that up at little restaurants and stalls throughout Budapest and just walk with it or eat it inside. That's really something that you have to try. And then what they call chimney cake, I won't even pronounce it in Hungarian, but chimney cake is something you can get for dessert. It's a spiral, like a doughy spiral, cylindrical cake. The only thing we have that would be comparable would be like waffle cones. And it's covered in sugar or cinnamon, and sometimes it's dipped in chocolate. And we had it dipped in chocolate and served with ice cream.
Ooh,
which is very, very decadent. So
that sounds great. Well, and the food I know that the food is a big part of that culture, correct?
It is a big part of the culture, and it's very hearty.
Hungarian, like, oopsie. like hearty.
Yes. Very filling.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you then you walk it off as you're exploring the city. You walk off all of that filling, rich food.
Yeah, it sounds incredible. I remember I did have Hungarian goulash back in the day. And to this day, this is really silly because this is years ago. I still think about that Hungarian goulash. And actually, my husband and I tried to like recreate it, but just didn't taste like what I thought it did then. But it's hearty food. I agree with that. And filling and good, really good. Okay, so the food is excellent there as far as what like more hearty type food, right? Are there
Yes,
any other is there other food that you can get there? Like, because it's a very meat-driven culture, correct?
it is. And you can still get other European influenced, you know, cuisine, Italian, French. You can get everything, but you want to try the local cuisine if you can. Another dessert to mention is a sponge cake, which is layered with walnuts and whipped cream and chocolate sauce. You'll find it on every menu for dessert, and it's delicious. It's
Oh
delicious.
my gosh. Yes, you'll have to be walking off all of these desserts for sure, but you can do that because it's a
So
walkable
right
city.
near the hotel we stayed at is a restaurant called Ghetto Gulyas, and it's walking distance from our hotel, and they had a lot of local Hungarian dishes and a very broad menu.
What is that? Can you say that again? The name of the restaurant and the name of the hotel as well.
So the restaurant is Ghetto Gulyas, Getto, and then Gulyas.
Okay.
It's just not that far, 3 to 5 minute walk from the Anantara, New York Palace Budapest Hotel, which is where I stayed.
And what was that restaurant like, and how did you find that restaurant?
I actually did, as I do for most of my trips, and I recommend people do before they travel. I did a lot of research online, restaurants that were highly recommended, but also that people were talking about and reviewing, patrons. And Ghetto Gulyas came up a lot, along with other restaurants like Stand Bistro, which is on the Buda side. We did want to get over there at least for one dinner on the other side of the river, and was a very elegant restaurant with very, very good food. And then I wanted to get to some Jewish restaurants in the what was once the Jewish quarter of the city. Mazel Tov and Rosenstein were restaurants that, but really just had Hungarian dishes and other European cuisine on their
Wow.
menu. But you should look for restaurants that have a broad, you know, a menu with a lot of offerings, you know, a lot of choices, and that are highly regarded. And I recommend making reservations months in advance for some of these.
Really? Months in advance. I'm glad you said that because I'm going in August. And so they're that popular. It's probably a popular time to go also.
They are very popular. Your concierge, if you're staying at a hotel with a concierge team, can help you with those reservations. But again, even going that route, I would recommend making them as far in advance as you can. You can
Okay,
always
that's good to know.
cancel.
Yeah, yeah, you can always cancel, but you're right. If it's a popular time of year, make those reservations. And speaking of popular time of year, I'm going in August, so I think a lot of Europeans are on vacation in August. So I imagine it's going to be busy. What would you say would be a good time to visit Hungary? Because again, I'm going in August, it might be very busy. Is there another time to go, or what would you suggest?
I think that the shoulder season for much of Europe, and Budapest is included, is a good time to visit. And by that I mean fall, September and October, when kids are back in school and families are not traveling as much, or spring, late spring, end of April
Okay.
into May, before everybody's out of school. Those are easier times to get into attractions and into restaurants. It just won't be as crowded, and the weather is still pleasant.
Yes, the weather's really nice in September and October, I imagine, in Budapest. And April's you cut the flowers going on, I'm
Yes,
guessing.
exactly.
Yeah. So, okay, where can people find out more information about this hotel? Because I want to stay at this hotel. This looks so pretty. The hotel and also Budapest, Hungary in general.
So you can find more about Budapest in general at their website, which is budapestinfo.hu/en. And for the hotel, you just go to anantara.com and you can navigate through there to their Budapest property.
And book that spa, hopefully, if that's
Absolutely.
available. Yeah.
Another thing to do in advance.
Was there anything else you wanted to add, Suzanne, about Budapest, Hungary? Because it's fascinating to hear this. And again, I'm going to be there in August, and it's been like 25 years since I was there. So
I can't wait for you to go, and I hope all of your listeners will go as well. I think I would just recommend trying to plan your itinerary in advance and hit as many of the museums and attractions as you can. I should mention one other attraction. Andrássy Avenue is the main thoroughfare. It's the main,
like street that you walk down, that
yes,
type of thing. Is it?
it's very elegant, and it is a World Heritage Site. In addition to, at the end of the street where it meets City Park is Heroes Square, which you also have to go to during the day and at night, which has statues of Hungarian rulers, and it's beautiful to see, to walk down there and take a look at it. And also the Hungarian Opera House is on that street. And you absolutely can go to their website and book, get a ticket to a performance, ballet, opera, classical music, or just do a tour of the opera house, which we didn't have
Oh,
time to do, but it's stunning. And
I think you need more than 4 days.
I
This is
hope
what
a very
all the
busy.
things you've told me. I'm like 4 days. I don't think it's enough, but it's a good taste of like Hungary, and I like the idea too of tacking it on to another trip you might have just to change things up. Suzanne, I always love hanging out with you and hearing about your travels because you travel so many places, and you've got me inspired about Budapest, Budapest when I go there in August. But I think I've got only 2 days, but that's
Well,
something.
I love sharing it with you, and I look forward to hearing about your impression of the city when you get back.
Yes, for sure. And Anantara, New York Palace. I'll put that on my list.
Absolutely.
That was so great to talk to Suzanne about Budapest, Hungary. It's been on my list. As you know, I'm going in August after many, many years, and I'm excited to try the food and stay at the hotel and maybe add a few extra days than I thought I was going to have. So thanks for listening to Round Trip. For more inspiration, follow us at Round Trip Colleen Kelly on all socials. You can also visit us at roundtripcolleenkelly.com for more information and travel articles. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, we'd love to talk to you. Go to roundtripcolleenkelly@gmail. And finally, if you like what you hear, please follow, subscribe, and leave us a comment as you listen. Again, thanks so much for your support, and I will see you next time.